Do you want me to come in with you and help you?
I'd love to, but I'm going to be talking to my family.
You don't need my help then.
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
When she said she didn't need me, I did feel a little hurt. So it did bother me a little bit, I must say. It's hurtful.
I'm going to be with strangers on my wedding day, so this really makes me sad. It puts me down.
We are crying, but we are happy for you.
It's fair to say that things for Greg and Joan haven't exactly been smooth sailing since she moved to the States, particularly when it comes to Joan's relationship with Lucille. But the last time we saw them, things were actually going pretty well. Lucille and Joan were beginning to become quite close, and Greg had even got himself a job. But when we join them at the start of this episode on Greg's first day at his new job, turns out things are off to a bumpy start.
It's taking forever. He might be
I know.
late.
My gosh. Greg,
Yeah!
you going to work today?
Yeah, just getting ready.
All right.
Ah, how sweet. It's sweet to see a mum make sure that her son is ready for school. Work. Really? How old is he? Is Greg really that much of a child that he needs to make sure his mum gets him to work on time? Honestly, these two really do have a strange dynamic. Now, as is typical for Greg and Lucille, in fact, they do appear to be in good spirits. And as far as Joan's concerned, she's just happy that Greg now has a job. Like, she wants him to keep that job, not be late on his first day. So she also helps him by getting him his lunch ready and then promising him that there's going to be a reward waiting for him when he gets back home.
I can't wait for you to come back or do everything you want. And I mean whatever you want.
Whatever, huh? Okay. Be ready.
Guys, need I remind you, job or not, I don't think Lucille would want any of these rewards to be handed out in her house. Have you forgotten her rules? Either way, with now an extra pep in his step, Greg finally heads out the door on his first steps to his new future career. But he does admit he's super nervous. You see, he hasn't had a real job since before COVID. He's worried about how he's going to adjust to life back in the workforce. Now, you've got to imagine knowing how essential this job is, knowing that he needs this employment in order to build a future with Joan. That has to be a good incentive, right? But at the same time, Joan is under no illusions either. Like, she's well aware that life with Greg now out of the house working is going to be very different for her. It's going to be a lot trickier. Take, for example, transport. Joan can't drive in the States yet, so she immediately needs Lucille's help.
I'd like to take my dress to be altered.
Oh,
So would
today,
you-
this morning?
Yes, so would you please help me, take me so that I can.
You're going to be my daughter-in-law, so I need to help you.
Everyone can see it's a measure of the woman, right? The fact that Lucille has already gone over and above for Joan. For her, family is everything, so she's refused to accept rent from Greg and Joan, and despite not exactly being wealthy herself, she works as a DoorDash delivery driver, she's the one that's personally paying for the largest chunk of their wedding expenses. So with this in mind, it should come as absolutely no surprise that once again, Lucille is more than happy to step in and help Joan out. Now, Joan's hope for today, the reason why she's taking her dress to be altered, is because she wants it to be tight enough to show off her booty while she's dancing. And while she doesn't necessarily tell Lucille that that's her aim, Lucille is just excited to have been asked to join her on this momentous occasion.
I'm looking forward to see Joan getting fitted in her wedding gown. Today represents just a stepping stone in us getting closer.
It's moments like these, special moments, that will help us to build our bond, Lucille says. And let's not forget, Lucille has been with them and basically she's been responsible for most of this wedding's planning, right? She can't wait to be included in this too. Like, for her, this is a sign that she and Joan are becoming family. But little does she know the only problem is Joan doesn't necessarily see it the same way. You see, Joan may want Lucille to drive her to the fitting, but she doesn't actually want her to be part of it.
Do you want me to come in with you and help you?
I'd love to, but I'm going to be talking to my family.
You don't need my help then.
Wow, I get that Joan's a straight talker. I understand that she doesn't mince her words. But the way that she says that, the way she basically makes it clear she doesn't consider Lucille family, is a bit of a slap to the face. After everything that Lucille's done for her, you'd have hoped that she'd be warming to the idea of Lucille being her family. At least, I'm pretty sure Lucille was hoping that that would be the case.
I see. All right.
I mean, from Joan's perspective, they haven't actually known each other that long. Everything might be okay between them now, but it hasn't always been the case. It wasn't that long ago that Lucille was going behind her back to Greg to complain about her. Now, the truth is, I don't think Joan means to be rude or hurtful here. Like, she just wants this to be a special moment. But you can definitely understand why it might be interpreted as being rude.
I want my family to see my wedding dress first. It has been really weird for me to plan this wedding without my family. It's really sad. So this is really special for my mom and my sisters. So.
Look, I get that, right? I understand that it must be hard for someone that's close to their family not to have their family with them here for moments like this. But I do still think there must have been a better way to do this. I mean, for example, couldn't Joan have waited until the weekend for this fitting so that Greg could drive her? Like, that way, if she didn't want Lucille to join her, she could have got it done without even needing to have told Lucille about it. Or heck, better yet, maybe she could have communicated better with Lucille. Maybe she could have sat down with her and explained her reasoning before asking her to take her. The fact is, the way that this was done, the way that things transpired, might now cause a big rift between these two.
When she said she didn't need me, I did feel a little hurt. It did bother me a little bit. It's hurtful. I thought I could be there for her, but evidently she didn't need me. I felt rejected and just worthless.
Now, Greg's mum does try to laugh it off, but she's clearly affected by this. She feels rejected. She feels dismissed, right? And that, I'd imagine, will have an impact on her relationship with Joan. As I say, after everything that she's done for Joan, that must come as a slap to the face. And let's not forget, these two are going to be living under the same roof for the foreseeable future. Any unresolved feelings of resentment or any tension between them might also have knock-on implications on Greg and Joan's relationship. So with this in mind, and also going back to what I said earlier, going back to how important it should have been for Joan to communicate her reasoning to Lucille, Joan explains to the camera crew why it's so important for her to have this moment alone with her family.
I've always dreamed of a wedding where I'm with my family, and me being in the US, having my wedding with no family. It's a happy moment, but also very sad.
Yeah, that is sad. I mean, Joan should have spoken to Greg's mum and explained that to her, but I do understand why she needed this private moment. It can't be nice not having any of your family by your side for your big day. Now, her family did want to come, but sadly, there's no appointments available at the Ugandan embassy, so as a result, they're not going to be able to get the visas that they need. And so you can understand why Joan wants to share this one special moment with her family. She wants them to feel included too.
Here comes the bride.
Wow! Oh my God! You're so smart. You're so pretty.
At least Joan gets this one special moment with her mum and sisters. It's a fun and light-hearted moment, but they are all blown away by how beautiful she looks. But these ladies do know Joan very well. They know her, and they know exactly what it is that she wants from her wedding dress. They know that there is one asset that she really wants to accentuate, shall we say. So they ask her to turn around so that they can see the back of her dress.
The ass.
It's exactly what Joan wanted from her dress, with her family just as in love with it as she is. Now, she knows with confidence that it's perfect. Now, the dress might be perfect, but sadly, the rest of her wedding day won't be. Don't get me wrong, she says she's marrying the man that she loves and she couldn't be happier, but her big day will be tinged with sadness at the fact that none of her family will be involved. Like, that isn't the vision that she had for her big day as she dreamt about it as a little girl. Like, the idea that none of her nearest and dearest would be with her never crossed her mind, and it's making her sad to reflect on what could have been.
I would love you guys to be with me on my wedding day. I would like Kylie to be my flower girl, but I think we've lost our hope.
The only appointments available at the American Embassy in Uganda are for next year. And that, for as much fun as they've had with this dress fitting, is when reality really sets in. Joan is gonna be all alone on her big day, the day that's meant to be the happiest day of her life. A celebration with friends and family, unfortunately won't have her friends or family.
I'm going to be with strangers on my wedding day, so this really makes me sad. It puts me down.
We are crying, but we are happy for you.
For as much as this clearly hurts both Joan and her family, and in fact her little niece Kylie begins to cry, they reassure Joan that this will be a special day nonetheless. We're gonna be supporting you from afar, they tell her. But Joan will also need to learn how to embrace her new family. Ultimately, it's her new family that are going to be closest to her, right? They're the ones that she needs to build that bond with. And from the looks of it, Joan is going to be given another opportunity to build her bond with Lucille in the next episode. You see, as this episode comes to an end, we're treated to a sneak peek for what to expect next week.
Going to a strip club with my future mother-in-law is a bit awkward.
That, hilariously, looks like it's going to be all sorts of weird and awkward. Lucille in a strip club with her future daughter-in-law is going to make for all kinds of cringy and uncomfortable viewing, but I, for one, can't wait to see what happens.